Welcome back. I'm Felix, and I'm reacting. This is not a video, but something I saw on YouTube. I just found it interesting. I wanted to kind of go through it. Uh, Basically, it's uh, they basically disappeared in the late '90s. 24 menu items that were all the rage way back when, not, but are not existent today. And I kind of wanted to look at them, and the reason it caught my attention is because the first one, talking about nobody serves beef stroganoff, and I was thinking about that, and it's like, I can't remember last time I saw beef stroganoff on the menu anywhere. I was like, this would be interesting to go through, so I thought I'd make a react video to it. So yeah, I remember you could get beef stroganoff at certain restaurants, but I don't recall seeing it anymore. I guess it just fell out of flavor. My wife actually used to make it herself, and come to think of it, she hasn't made it in a long time either. So maybe I'll ask her if she wants to try making it again. But the first one right off the bat, like, yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. And then the next one was blackened everything. It seemed like chefs were working overtime to figure out ways to... I don't know this one. Blackened everything? Let me see if I can find the image. Hold on a second. So I googled it, and this is what I got. So it looks... I remember something now that I see pictures of it. It's like they were putting heavy pepper on stuff too, and it was just heavy, and you cooked it. You basically were cooking the seasoning off. But yeah, I kind of remember them doing it. They kind of still do something like this, but not to this extreme anymore. So yeah, I vaguely remember that one. Okay. Look like it's some, if you want to read it, here you go. I'll leave a link for this article if you want to go back and read everything about it. Potato skins. I do remember they even had like potato chips, and yeah, potato skins were everywhere. It was just the skins of the potato. And there was a little bit of potato in there, but mostly it really was just the skin of the potato. They just were doing that. Now that I see it, it has been a long time since anyone's done just potato skins. Let's see here. Number 4, I can't think of a specific dish, but there was a period in the 90s where pesto was in everything. Oh yeah, like everyone was using pesto. It became the big thing to use. And I do remember that. It was like pesto seasoning, pesto sauce, pesto this. So yeah. So, so it goes in phases with a lot of things. You'll have something that takes off and is popular, and the next thing you know, it's not popular anymore. And I think that's what happened with pesto. I mean, people still use it. It's just not as big of an ticket item as it used to be. Quiche. Oh yeah, I don't hear people really talking about quiche anymore. I remember in the 80s, I would say 90s, I'd stopped hearing about quiches actually. Every now and again I'll hear something about a quiche, but overall it's like, I don't hear anything about it. And I heard of different recipes for quiches, and so I still don't know what a quiche is, I'll be honest with you. Fill in the blank. Real men don't... I don't know what that's about. Real men don't eat quiche. Okay. Steak Diane? Yeah.
I have 3 meds ready for pickup. Do you have any ready for pickup?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I lost a lottery ticket.
Did you lose it?
I don't know. It's downstairs, I think, on the tray somewhere. Alright, bye.
Okay, bye.
Steak Diane. I don't know that one. Steak Diane. I do not know that one. Give me a second. In case you wonder why I go off screen, I learned a long time ago just watching videos to go off screen to do searches in case something pops up you weren't expecting. This just looks like a smothered steak to me. Thinly pounded steak. Yeah, this just looks like a like a smothered steak. I Yeah, I don't see anything special about this. Now, overall, I don't see them using like gravy like this anymore. This one, yeah, I never heard of this one, and I wonder if it went by a different name. That's why I never heard of it. But yeah, see, salad bars. Salad bars are still around in some restaurants. Uh, what's that one? I can't think of. Ruby Tuesday, I think, still has a salad bar. And if you go to, oh, I can't think of the name of those places. Like, oh, buffet. There we go. If you go to a buffet, I mean, they have salad bars. So those are still around. So that one I'll disagree with. But this one, see, salad bars and A's. Every restaurant had one, even some. I disagree with that. Not every restaurant had one. Some fast food, like Wendy's, did have a salad bar. Ours did not. I don't recall ours ever having one. But I don't think we got a Wendy's until after the salad bars were gone. But yeah, the only places that had salad bars were restaurants that were known for doing buffets where I lived. I'm going to disagree with that one also in the sense that salad bars are still around. They're just not as popular, especially after COVID. A lot of buffets actually suffered after COVID. Beef Wellington. Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever had beef Wellington. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Okay, beef Wellington. You know, I actually forgot what beef Wellington looked like, and then as soon as it popped up, I was like, oh, that's beef Wellington. Yeah, I've never had this. Truth be told, I never had a desire to have it. The ways I've seen it prepared, it's like it's not even seasoned. And, yeah, it's just not something that's ever appealed to me. But, yeah, so beef Wellington. Yeah.
Can I stay up until Trey's out the shower?
If you find a lottery ticket.
I don't even know when...
I'm just messing with you. Bye.
Bye.
So if anyone has ever tried beef Wellington, let me know what it tastes like. I've never had beef Wellington. And again, I've never had a desire to want it. So, but let's get back to it. Fondue. I've never done fondue either. I think those are still around. I mean, they're not as popular. Actually, I take it back. I think they're coming back in style because I've heard about fondue thoughts and people getting back into doing fondue. So it's somewhat still around, but not as much. Let's see. Orange Ruffy. I've heard of this, but I don't remember what it was. So let's go see if we can find it here. Orange Ruffy. Oh, it's a fish. It says fish, right? It turned out that the fish were incredibly old, up to 200 years old. Fish to extinction. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's not really... There we go. It's just fish. I've never had an orange Ruffy to my knowledge. Nothing. It doesn't look like anything special. Let's see, this cross section of it just looks like fish. Sometimes a fish becomes popular just to become popular. Because some fancy restaurant served it, so that's the new thing to serve. So yeah. Bananas, Foster, and the whole table side performing flambe craze. Oh yeah, that's where they set it on fire. They kind of still do that at like, was it hibachi? Is that hibachi? The grill stuff in the Chinese or Japanese restaurants. But when they do that, you cook at your table. Bananas Foster, I haven't really heard of Bananas Foster in a long time. I forgot all about that actually. Oh yeah, pineapple upside down cake. So, I mean, when me and my wife were dating, my wife was trying to cook more and bake. She was getting into it. She really liked it. She went out of her way to make a pineapple upside down. She bought everything she needed. And she just took her time doing it. She followed the recipe. I came home from work and she's like, oh man, she's so excited. I was like, okay, I took a bite and it was delicious. It was delicious. I don't like pineapple upside down cake, but I liked hers. Maybe because she was my girlfriend at the time, I don't know, but it was really, really good. Then I go, oh, what are these little black flecks in here? And she goes, what black flecks? And I said, these right here. She goes, oh my God, those are bugs. She didn't check her flour. Her flour had gone bad and bugs had gotten into it. She cooked them. Was like, oh, it tastes good. I didn't know it at the time, but I guess flour, when it gets old, I think it has eggs or something in it. There's something in it where bugs can actually get in and hatch in it and stuff. And when she was using the flour, she didn't see them. So they didn't show up till they got cooked. And I'm just sitting there eating it and not realizing, I didn't know. And she flipped out, or didn't flip out, but she freaked out, grabbed it from me, threw it away, threw the whole thing away, and she has never made it since. And I'm almost 50, and we were in our 20s when she did that. So it's been over 20 years since she's made that. I tried to convince her to do it again. She's traumatized. She's traumatized from it. But yeah, it was pretty funny to me, and I'll tell it every now and again, and she does not like it. So I try not to say to her, because she really did get traumatized by it, because she ate it, didn't catch it either. And I'm just like, oh, what are these little black flecks? Because she's telling me about it. I'm like, oh, what's in it? And she's going on, well, what are these little black flecks? And she's like, what? I thought she put pepper in it. That's all I was thinking. But nah, it was bugs. Let's see here. German chocolate cake. That's still around. I think this is the reason they say it's not around, because it's not as popular anymore, but it's still around. So I kind of agree and disagree with this one at the same time. It's that it's just not popular as it used to be. Crepes as an entree. That's still around, especially at IHOP. You can get crepes as an entree. And actually, that's the only place I can think of, so maybe they are right. I can't think of any place else to get crepes from. Maybe Bob Evans? Otherwise, no, I can't think of. I mean, like, in certain countries, you can get it on the street, crepes and stuff. But I can't think of any, like, major restaurant chains or anything that do crepes. Let's see. Trout almond. Oh, yeah, trout almondine. I remember hearing about this. I've had trout, but I've never had trout almondine. And every time I see it, it's not appealing to me. But, yeah, I remember when this was all the rage, people were always making trout almondine. And now I haven't heard it in... Whew, man, I can't remember the last time I heard anyone say trout almondine. Let's see. Baked Alaska. Oh, yeah. I remember people used to talk about Baked Alaska. Let me see if I can find a picture. I cannot describe it to save my life. I've heard of it, but I could. So here's some different Baked Alaskas. So it's just a dessert. Wait, is that ice cream? I don't know what's on it. But, yeah, I haven't heard anyone mention the Baked Alaska in a long time. And this one, the Monte Cristo sandwich. I haven't heard anyone say anything about Monte Cristo in a long time. That's like the trout almondine. I don't remember last time I heard anyone say anything about a Monte Cristo. Because I remember this was all the way. Everybody was making these left and right. And I can't remember last time I heard anyone mention these. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I really can't remember. I'm sure if I brought it up to someone, they probably wouldn't remember either. Okay, let's see here. French onion soup. Depending on where you go, French onion soup is still around. And so, yeah, I disagree with... Well, I disagree but agree with it. And what I mean by that, even back then, French onion soup, I don't recall really being that popular. Maybe for like a hot second, but otherwise it wasn't that popular. Here's some different pictures of it, but yeah, I don't remember it being that popular overall. If anything, I remember it being like a dipping, like you dip stuff in it, but otherwise, as a soup on its own, it wasn't that popular. Okay, Swedish. Oh yeah, I remember this Swedish meatballs. I always heard about Swedish meatballs. I mean, meatballs in general are still around, but I never understood what was so special about Swedish meatballs. But yeah, for whatever reason, I like Swedish meatballs. Okay. Let's see here. please travel back in time with me to the 60s. Let's talk about baked potato fixings being brought to the table, being brought to your table in that thing with a connected metal bowl. What? I have no idea what they're talking about. This one's stupid. I guess it's just talking about they brought everything separate to your table. I don't recall that ever. Like I said, I'm almost 50. I don't recall that ever being a thing where they brought all this stuff out separately. You could ask for it to come out separately, but I don't recall them ever doing that. Oh, chocolate mousse. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Again, don't recall ever having it, but I remember people just talking about chocolate mousse all the time. Like, that was the dessert to have. You gotta have a chocolate mousse. Gotta have chocolate mousse. And then they started selling it in stores and stuff. Like, you could buy chocolate mousse in the little cups and stuff. Let's see here. Fried zucchini and fried mozzarella sticks. Mozzarella sticks are still around. Fried zucchini pops up every now and again. But, yeah, fried mozzarella sticks are still around. But fried zucchini, not as much. So... well, I've been getting pictures of everything, so let's see. Okay. They're like, this is zucchini here. Looks like zucchini. I look like it's together. So you can't really tell the difference unless you zoom in on it. But yeah, there you go. This what in the world? That looks uncooked. I hope that's not the finished product. I wouldn't eat that. But yeah, I've heard of fried zucchini, and like I said, fried mozzarella sticks are still around. Liver and onion, yeah, that was a big thing. People always wanted livers and onion, and every time I wait, is that bacon? I just realized that. I think it's got bacon on top. Bacon makes everything better. So, but yeah, liver and onions. That was a huge dish. I do remember that. Everyone was cooking liver and onions, and we didn't do it in my house. But yeah, I would hear other people on TV and everywhere just liver and onions. Like, I don't know why that took off the way it did. And what's this last one? A diet plate that had a hamburger patty, a lump of cottage cheese, and canned peaches. What? I don't recall that at all. Let me see if I can find a picture just from this description. As you see, some of these I'm just like, what are you talking about? I don't recall any of that. I think this might have been popular in certain areas. Let's see here. I wonder if this kind of was talking about this one here. Yeah, I don't remember that being a thing at all. That was probably more the early 80s. I'll say early 80s. Because I don't recall that at all. If it was early 80s, that would explain why I was a kid then. But, yeah, I don't even, yeah, definitely don't recall that one. But, yeah, all these others, definitely recall most of these. It's funny to me that a lot of these things I know about are gone or just not as popular anymore. So I think it's interesting. But there some are really gone but not forgotten. So, but yeah. So I'll leave a link for you. You can go back and check it out, read everything you want about it. But otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.